And Dorothy, would you call roll, please?
Yes, sir. Bob Waller,
Here.
Garrett Harmon,
Here.
Don Barnett,
Here.
Michael Siegerman, Rustin Zuber,
Here.
David Jones,
Here.
Marty Leonard,
Here.
Glenn Andrews.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a quorum. First on the agenda is Visitor Citizens Forum. Any person with business not scheduled on the agenda is encouraged to briefly speak their ideas to the commission. Please fill out the speaker request form, give it to the commission secretary prior to the meeting. The number of speakers will be limited to the first 10, and each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. No formal action can be taken on these items, as the Open Meetings Act requires formal action be posted on an agenda no later than 72 hours before the meeting. If formal action is required, the items will be placed on an agenda for a future meeting. Number 2, for consideration and action, 2A is amending a plat. Trent?
Yes. Item 2A is located at 3333 and 3337 Arrowhead Drive East, located on lots 43 and 44, Block B of Comanche Trace Phase 1, Section 6. This was for an amending plat. The proposal does meet all the requirements and guidelines in accordance with Article 10-4 of the City of Kerrville Subdivision Ordinance. Staff does not have any issues with this and does recommend approval.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Commissioner?
It looks like we're just combining 2 lots together, Trent.
Yes, sir.
If there's no questions, do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept it.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. It passes 5-0. Thank you. 2B is it amending plat. Trent?
Thank you. Item 2B, as you said, is also amending plat. It's located at 126 Hilltop Drive East. This is amending plat for lots 1, Block 5, Guadalupe Heights, number 2. This is a very unique amending plat. It's located in our ETJ, just outside of city limits. They are changing the law. Back in, I believe this is, the original plat was done back in the 50s. They had Cherry Way going in the front of the property, but when it was actually constructed, it went in the rear of the property. And so they made a mistake. They're changing the Cherry Way where it's actually located at, rearranging lot number 21 to be better representative where it actually is right now. This does meet, this proposal is required to also go to the county commissioners for review. It's scheduled to go on Monday. This proposal does meet all of our city requirements and guidelines in accordance with Article 10-4 of the City of Kerrville Subdivision Ordinance, and we do recommend approval of it.
So all you're doing is properly recognizing the way the street runs?
Where the street runs, where the actual lot boundaries are. We don't know what happened back in the 50s when they created the subdivision of how, I mean, they built Cherry Way in the middle of the lot, or on the edge of the lot where it should have not gone originally. This is not a city street. These are all county roads, but because they're within our ETJ, they're required to go through our process. So it's just a realignment of the This is a true era of plat.
I didn't go out there, but I did take a look at it on Google Earth. And apparently there's another drive that comes up and accesses Hilltop Drive where Cherry Way is now. So it just looked like whenever they started building this, after it was platted, they thought, well, it makes more sense to put the road over here, but didn't do anything else. And in fact, there are power lines where you have these easements shown that are still where the old right-of-way would have been.
Right.
It also looks like on the Google Earth image that there are structures that encroach those easements. Is that correct, Don?
Yes, Don Vocal, Kerrville, Texas. And I got involved when the Five Fields have both passed away. Glenn and his wife, forget her name. And now their heirs are trying to sell the home because none of them live here. Well, they had a survey done, they got a contract, and the title company wouldn't issue title because of this issue. And apparently, it's been done by owner finance, and the reason it's taken this long to find it is it's been out there and it's been owner financed, and no one ever tried to get a loan. And Bob, you know, if you have a situation, they can't warrant it. So that's when they came to me, and some other surveyor done the title survey, it wasn't me. And so, but he wouldn't do this, so they hired me to fix it. And if you look on the plat, the original plat, it doesn't show on mine, but on the original plat, it shows an electrical line going down Cherry Way, and it labels it electrical line. And that electrical line's still there. So when they built the house, the utility line was already there. So I don't know how that happened, but now I've talked to KPUB. Bob Keeling has me, as soon as we get this recorded, he's gonna have the owner sign an affidavit of acceptance of the encroachment of the utility line. So, because they're not gonna make them move it, it's been there all these years, but it's just a matter of, we still need an easement for the utility line. And the easement goes over that part of the house. And they're aware of that, and the buyers are aware of that, and so this is just to kind of fix the problem that's 60, 70 years old.
Or partially fix it. There's still a problem that there's a house in an easement.
Well, that is a problem, but signing that document will allow it to happen.
Okay.
And I have the same situation in my office across the street. There's a utility line going across to the house that the city just now bought. And there's no easement across our building. They haven't had us to sign an affidavit, but those things exist, and it's just a matter of this one, we're trying to fix it so they can convey the house.
So that indemnifies the city.
Well, the city has
And
no
KPUB?
responsibility. KPUB, by
Okay.
having that affidavit
Okay.
that these people will sign after we get the plat, and they need an exhibit for the original plat and exhibit for the final plat. So they didn't want to get the affidavit signed until after we got it recorded. Then they're gonna sign a thing saying that they acquiesce, that they know the electrical line's there and they know their house is there, so they're just gonna leave it status quo.
And the city will be receiving a copy of that as well, of that document after it's signed.
I'm not sure if they can record this document, Trent and I were talking, but I will get the signatures and I'll get y'all a copy of it to keep in the file, so that in case y'all ever did annex it, you'd have this all on the record.
Trent, if there's any future construction done on this house, since it's in the ETJ, it doesn't have to go before the city of Kerrville for a permit.
That is correct.
Okay.
Is this a standard sort of document that KPUB uses in these situations? I mean,
It came from KPUB. Bob emailed it to me after the DRC meeting, and he said, we'd like to get this signed once it's all done. And the people won't have any problem with it. They know it's there. It's just a matter of whatever we need to get it done so we can fix the lot so they can convey it.
Okay, and so then when you go to closing, there won't be an issue with the title company accepting that document?
Shouldn't be, since that's gonna be, and it may be that they may have to record that document.
Yeah, okay.
So that the title company has a record that it's an existing issue.
Okay.
Interesting. Any questions? Other questions? If not, I'll accept it.
One question.
Yes, sir.
Are there other issues like this in this Guadalupe Heights area?
I don't know for a fact that there are, but there could be. I don't think there's anything as bad as this.
This is pretty unique. I haven't seen something like this yet.
And with this being out in the county and 60, 70 years old, that's probably part of the reason that it happened.
It hadn't been looked at
No.
until this
And
issue
since there
came up.
hadn't been a loan, just owner finance all these years,
Yeah.
never came up.
Where's the power line go from here?
Well, it comes from, if you look across Pecan Way, there's a property line between lots 11 and 9. That line comes from that side of the road, the southwest side of Pecan Way, comes into the street and goes down this middle of the street.
Would it be unreasonable to ask KPUB to, overlay a map or something like that in anticipation of the next situation that might arise? Or
Oh, I don't know that there's any other issues, but I guess we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it. That, and that's the same thing we're doing here. We didn't know this.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
Well, it's not going to be too long before this becomes part of the city. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know.
That 25,000, does this fall within that 1 mile? extension.
This is all within our ETJ, so this is
But once we get to 25,000, based on the census,
2 miles.
it extends 1 more mile.
our ETJ would go once we hit.
But it still stays in the ETJ.
Right, it won't get out of the ETJ.
Okay.
It may get annexed, but it's not gonna get out of the ETJ.
That's what my thought is. Okay, so the only challenge would be in annexation at some point, maybe?
Right. And now this will fix it, so it'll be not gonna be a problem if y'all ever do that.
No, you're right about owner financing. They don't ask much.
No, and they don't get surveys sometimes.
Okay, any other questions?
I have just one comment.
Oh,
Bonnie
yes,
White,
ma'am.
402 Forest Ridge. Has been some question from the Commissioners Court to us to address the issue of both county and city in the ETJ having to do certain checkoffs for property owners. And I kind of went back in the minutes from meetings past, and this has been ongoing for years and years, it looks like to me. So at some point in the near future, we probably need to get our heads together, because now we'll have to see what the county does on Monday. And the reason why Commissioner Letts wanted to address it is because of the delay, you know, and the expense that property owners have in having to go through 2 entities. And I didn't realize that that was the situation until recently. So something that you all might chew on also and come up with some recommendations and remarks about, you know, to council, because this is a situation that affects new developments as well. So I appreciate you all taking time to look at it, because like you said, if we do annex it, we don't want to have to address a lot of issues that are, you know, already there. So hopefully the county will check and make sure on Monday that the county approves it and see if they have any issues with it.
So basically, any replat in the ETJ has to be approved by the city and the county.
Well, in 2005, there was an interlocal agreement signed by legislature. They mandated cities and counties to decide who takes care of the ETJ. And from my memory, it was given to the city. And then at some point after 2005, something was done and the county didn't like it. So I think Pat Tinley wrote a letter to the city saying we revoked that interlocal agreement. I don't really know that you know, is legal or not, but that's what they did. So now we've been having to take plats to the city and the county. And the good news on this one, they've already looked at it. I've talked to Charlie Hastings, I've talked to the commissioners. Everybody's on board with the same thing that I'm telling y'all. They want to see it fixed too. So it's not going to be an issue, but the issue for the public is I have to charge my client to come to this meeting,
Right.
or that meeting, pay fees here, and pay fees there, and it shouldn't be doing that. So I think somebody needs to decide, do we want the city to maintain the ETJ, which I think it should, because that's the potential annexation. You should have a right. Like, see, the county, because like this, we're having to have the county convey that strip of land to these people in lieu of getting the new strip that's where the existing road is. So we had to go to the county for that. So there may be some issues that we have to get the county involved, but not every issue. And so
Okay.
between the city and the county, I think those 2 entities need to decide who gets to be the caretaker of the ETJ.
Would you think the legislature passed a law in '05?
From my memory, it was legislative action that said cities and counties need to decide who takes care of the ETJ.
Oh, that's all it said. It didn't say the city would, or it just said they needed to decide.
Right.
And
It left it up
we
to-
had an agreement and he revoked that agreement.
Apparently.
Over the library?
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I think that clarifies it a little bit better. Thank you.
Clear as mud.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, based on what we've heard, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the replating as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Or 7-0, no, 5-0. Thank you. Staff reports.
Yes, right now we don't have any items scheduled for the February 2nd meeting. I was thinking on the February 2nd meeting having that training for Planning and Zoning Commission, if you would all agree to that. And I'd probably make it a special time at preferably around 3:30, 4 o'clock, so that gives us enough time to have this presentation similar to what we did last year. We started a little bit earlier than normal.
How long do you think that takes, Rick?
I can go as long as you want. I like to get to the point. So I'm looking at maybe 45 minutes to an hour to do that
Okay, so
presentation.
probably that'll start like 3:30,
Yeah, we can definitely do that, sir.
if that's okay with you,
Yeah,
Debbie.
I'm fine with it. 3:30?
If there's no other business, I'll accept
Oh,
them.
one last
Nope.
thing. Sorry. So once again, we'll have that meeting 3:30 on February 2nd for your training. We were requested to let you know about, kind of keep you up to date on our building permits of how many we've issued. For new residential permits in December, we issued 7, and for commercial development, we issued in December 4 new permits as well. I'm just kind of give you a better insight of what's going on in the community and actually seeing the action you take place, seeing actually take off from the ground, kind of seeing what effect it has on the local, on the city. So, and that's all I have.
Do you know how
Thank
that
you.
compares to last year?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you know how that compares to last year, last December?
I don't. I need to look at that. I'm more than happy to do that.
I was just
General consensus, I believe, it's probably a better question for Mr. Danny Batts, our Chief Building Inspector. But from what I've heard, it's pretty similar of what we had last year. Last year was a pretty good year for building permits. So,
Okay, thank you.
and that's it. Thank you.
If there's no other business, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A motion and a second, all in favor, right hand. Yeah, we're adjourned. Thank you.